Hey guys, it's Erik here. Thank you so much for checking this video out. I really appreciate the support. One of my favorite ways to pass the time during this quarantine that we are all experiencing is watching YouTube videos. There's a ton of extremely talented creators on YouTube. One of the series and channels that I like watching the most is Bon Apetit's Gourmet Makes series. Today, we're gonna focus on Claire's Gourmet Makes Girl Scout Cookies video to see if I can follow along with her instruction and try my hand at making some Thin Mints and Samoas. I am brand new to making vlogs, but it's gonna be a learning experience in more ways than one. So yeah, that's the intro. Let's get started. All right, so we're gonna go through the video and see what ingredients we need and kind of follow through to make a checklist of what we need to do for this. So let's start watching the video.
Here's how you make gourmet Girl Scout cookies.
Cake flour, baking powder, cornstarch, salt, unsalted butter. All of those things are pretty standard baking supplies. I think we should be able to find them. The one thing, cake flour, I'm not really sure the difference between cake flour and something else. So we'll have to look into that. I might just have to use regular flour.
Half a cup powdered sugar and beat until light. Add a large.
Okay, powdered sugar, eggs, which I need to pick up. One of the things I noticed that she's using here that I won't be able to is the stand mixer. I guess I'll just have to do the standing and mixing myself.
Egg white and 2 teaspoons vanilla extract and beat until fluffy and smooth.
She's gonna go into the Thin Mint recipe here.
Whisking 1 tablespoon black cocoa and 1 tablespoon Dutch processed cocoa.
I don't think that I'll probably be able to find those different types. I don't need them to be exactly the same, but I am gonna try to, do what I can. Peppermint extract. I feel like that's gonna be one of those things that you buy for this recipe and then never use again. And then 2 years later, you find the bottle and be like, have I used this in 2 years? Unsweetened coconut.
3/4 of a cup sugar, 2 tablespoons corn syrup, and 2 tablespoons of water.
And then she's got heavy cream, so coconut oil.
Use an appropriately sized bottle top to imprint a shallow, centered channel running around each reed.
So Claire really focuses on trying to make a cookie that looks exactly like the original. She does that with all of her recipes. She measures it down to the millimeter and tries to get the same patterns and things like that. I'm not as focused and worried about that. We've got our list of ingredients here. We're gonna head out to the store and see what we can find. I just want you guys to know I'm not making a special trip for this. I do need other groceries and to pick up a prescription as well. So we're gonna head to the grocery store. I'll grab some things and then after that we'll come back and we'll start cooking. All right, I am in the parking lot of the grocery store. So I'm actually surprised by how many people are out and about, but maybe, the grocery store is one of the few things that are still open and running, so maybe people are getting things that they need. Oh, there's somebody right next to me. That's awesome. Of course, there's people pulling up in cars all around me as I'm recording my video. That's what you get when you talk to your phone, I guess. But all right, let's go grab some ingredients. There's a sign here that says, be considerate of your family's needs, and then the shelves where the toilet paper normally is completely empty. I'm glad, families have enough toilet paper to last until 2050 now, but I know my family, they have people, college students coming home and they're struggling to find just, some basic things because people are going crazy. It's kind of the panic mode of the country, I guess, but I hope things change. All right, I've got my ingredients here. Let's start making cookies, right? You know what I should do before I get any farther is wash my hands, right? 1.5 cups of cake flour. See if that doesn't, oh, I'm already making a mess. Look at that. Awesome. Okay, time to roll up the sleeves. Good thing I don't have anywhere important to be today. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Make sure cornstarch. All right, 1, 2, 1. Ooh, yeah, 1 teaspoon. And I need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Good thing I bought all of that just for that 1 teaspoon. I'm just gonna mix up the dry ingredients to get it nice and combined. I knew I was gonna need that room temperature butter. This is still rock hard. Just microwave those for a little bit. I don't know, a minute? Does that sound good? That's gotta be some room temperature, maybe the boiler room. 2 sticks of butter. Half cup of powdered sugar. Don't make a mess, don't make a mess. Oh, I made a little mess. Into the butter. And we're gonna mix that up. Do I beat it with the whisk? We'll risk it and whisk it. I noticed that as I get older and continue to teach, I start to use more and more dad jokes. Sorry, not sorry, I guess. This looks pretty good. What we'll do next, we need to do an egg white, which I don't know how that'll go. I can also put in some of the vanilla. So, 1 and 2. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I gotta try to separate an egg white. So, get all of that in there. I did wash my hands. Let's try this. That looks pretty dang gross, doesn't it? We'll go back to our wet mixture, add that in. All right, so yeah, we're cooking. As in we're moving along, but I guess we're also cooking too. It says beat until fluffy. Would you say that looks fluffy? The next step is to add the dry stuff to the wet stuff here. Yeah, this is starting to look more like a dough. But what I might do is just put this bowl in the fridge for a little bit, and then I'll be able to roll it out. One of the things that we can do while we're waiting for the dough to chill is I can start to toast the organic unsweetened coconut flakes. I'm gonna take that 1 cup and I'm just gonna kind of spread it out. All right, the coconut is finished. Yeah, that looks good. I like the color on that a lot. The dough has been in the fridge for a little bit. We're gonna try to roll it out. I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen. So. I mean, yeah, it's working. You know what? I'm pretty happy with that shape. To me, what this means is that I can go ahead with the chocolate version of this. I'm basically gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna add the cocoa instead of the cornstarch. Cocoa, salt, baking powder. Egg white, powdered sugar, 2 teaspoons. Ooh, smells like toothpaste. I was gonna say a mint, but I wonder why. Standing and mixing. Here's the chocolate dough. And it looks pretty good, honestly. I think it looks good. All right, so I think that I'm gonna let this chill with this one. All right, so the next thing we gotta do, guys, is make the caramel. So I have my 3/4 cup of sugar. Measure out some of the corn syrup here. I wonder what corn syrup tastes like. Do you guys know what corn syrup tastes like? I know it's bad for you, I guess. I'm just gonna try it. Tastes like maple syrup, minus a little bit of maple. That's probably what all maple syrup is. Yeah, look at that. Number 1 ingredient, corn syrup. I do like real maple syrup, but this tastes just like that. Now I gotta wash my hands again. 5, 6. We need 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. So a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. I'm hoping that whipping cream is the same as heavy cream. Who knows? Somebody knows, but it's not me. Oh geez, back to elementary school. You guys remember how hard it was sometimes to open those milk cartons? You'd get it, and then you'd have to start on the other side, and then you'd end up just pouring it all done. No? Is that just me? All right, so I got my 1/2 cup of cream, coconut oil, corn syrup, sugar. Let's move over to the stove. So before I turn the heat on, I want to add the sugar, the water, and the corn syrup. I added those ingredients. We want to get that to the point where they dissolve. We got bubbles. Okay, it's starting to go. I'm gonna stir that up. So we want to get it amber brown, like almost one would say caramel color, right? This looks actually pretty cool. All right, guys, would you call that light brown? All right, so I'm gonna add the cream in now. All right, that did something. And the coconut oil. All right, that kind of starts to look like caramel here, right? To cook until 250 degrees. So I have a thermometer here. 145, 57, 66, 70. We're going up. So I'm gonna call it. I got to 240. Turn that off because it's making my apartment warm. All right, and then I guess I just pour this in there. All right. We have the caramel cooling down. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to work on cutting out the cookies. Claire in the video, she had these different cutters and different things to cut out the holes. I have what I have around here. And here's the dough. All right, moment of truth here. Let's look at it. Oh, wow. Yeah, that looks really good. I need 3 different circles. I need to punch out the middle. I need the actual cookie, but then I need the ring in the middle. So I think I've figured out kind of what I'm gonna use. The bottom of this glass is about the shape that I want. I'm gonna use the Dr. Pepper bottle to try to cut out the middles and then see how that works. All right, well, we have some ugly ones like this one, and we have some okay ones. I'm feeling a little less and less encouraged as we continue here. But they're still gonna taste good. It's just whether they look good. Oh man, that looks really good. I gotta say, that's what I imagine a Thin Mint to look like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to preheat the oven to 350. And she does not give a time in the video, but she just says to look for it to turn golden brown. So I guess I'm gonna be peeking at it every couple minutes. I would say that those are about golden brown, or about the same color as the Samoas that you'd see. Guys, it smells exactly like Thin Mints in here right now. So these Thin Mints that are cooking, I can tell they're gonna be good. All right, so my next step is putting the caramel onto the cookies and then dropping the cookies into the coconut here. So another mini spoon here. I gotta be so careful with these. It is working. All right, there, that's about the amount of caramel coverage. I'm gonna try this, and then we'll go down here into the coconut, and I'll just kind of bounce it around a little bit. Okay, and boom. Yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, now to do this 20 more times. All right, so I have finished putting the coconut and the caramel on the Samoas. They look really good, guys. I only had a couple of victims of crumbling. I think I'm gonna start with the dark chocolate for the Thin Mints. We're gonna set up a pot of simmering water, put a bowl on top, and melt the chocolate through that indirect heat versus the direct heat in a pan. That looks good. There's no more chunks in there. It was very smooth and creamy. So the idea here is that these can be completely covered in chocolate. Just gonna drop the cookie in there, flip that around a couple of times, lift that up. Looks pretty good. My hands are shaking. Oh, and I dropped it. Let's try that a little bit more gracefully. Shake off and... Guys, I forgot to add the peppermint to the chocolate. I was gonna make a joke about how thick my cookies are, but at least they're pepperminty, and then I realized, oh, there's not mint in the chocolate either. Oh, Okay, that smells so much more like Thin Mints. It's incredible just how much a little bit of peppermint extract does. All right, so I'm gonna pop the Thin Mints into the freezer now to get those to cool and get the chocolate to set. I'm gonna start working on the chocolate for the Samoas. I just wanna put a little bit in the bottom of this. I'm gonna take one of these cookies, I'm just gonna set it in, move it around a little bit, lift it out, and set it. That looks pretty good. All right, so I've just finished up the bottom. The next step here is the chocolate stripes. So I'm gonna have to put this chocolate into a little bag, cut the corner off, and I'm gonna try to stream on some of the zigzag stripes to make that signature Samoa or caramel delight look. Let's go to this one. That works pretty well. All right, guys, the cookies have been chilling for a while now. I plated up a couple, and I'm really excited to show you how they ended up. I think that I'm going to start with the Thin Mints because Samoas are my favorite, so I'd love to finish with that. But no cookie taste test is complete without a cold glass of milk. So let me grab that. This one right here. All right, so here we go. First bite of the Thin Mints. Oh wow. There's a perfect amount of peppermint in there. There's not too much. And it's good that it's in the chocolate and the cookie. The cookie is crispy, but it's not too crunchy. The cookie to chocolate ratio, you can see that there's a good amount of chocolate. Now, one thing you might have noticed when in that close-up is that, so the chocolate is not tempered, so it's melting from the heat of my hands. And Claire loves the tempering chocolate experience. I've never tried it, probably not going to. So that just means I'll have to keep these cookies frozen, but everybody knows that frozen Thin Mints is the best way to eat them anyway. So good. I want a drink of milk when my hands are all chocolatey. Let's do this. Oh. Yum. I'm really happy with the Thin Mints and the way that they turned out. The peppermint flavor is there. The dark chocolate is there as well, and it pairs really well with the peppermint. The cookie tastes good. The chocolate is great. Overall, very happy with the Thin Mints. Now comes the time I've been waiting for ever since I watched Claire's video, is trying one of these homemade Samoa cookies. So I want to pick this one right on top here. I'm going to get that one, and I'm going to get a big old bite of that. Wow. Oh. Okay, so the flavors are all there. The cookie is a little bit different. And maybe it's because it's a thinner cookie, but that's all right. The caramel's there, the cookie's there, coconut and chocolate. It's all there. And it's so good. I just want to say thank you to Claire and the rest of the crew at the Bon Apetit Test Kitchen. Keep making the great content. You guys are an inspiration to a lot of people to get into cooking and to continue to cook. A big shout out to all the medical professionals and the essential workers out there who are continuing to go to work and provide services for the rest of the people. I'm really happy with the way that these cookies turned out. I can't wait to eat them, and they're gonna bring me some comfort here as we're quarantined until further notice. All right, so I get to eat these cookies now. So you guys stay safe, stay home, and until next time, thanks for watching, guys. So good. All right, my neighbors decided to move furniture right now, so